along with my co-host Big Country, Jeremy. I got Selby here. I got DJ here.
Yo.
And we'll do the shout outs for the pod. You know what? Since most people watch the beginning of things, let's get, if y'all got anything y'all got going, so let's shout that out before we even get in, then we'll revisit that at the end.
Okay, well, I got 4-year ambition going on. Check it out on YouTube under the Glow Sun Production. You can also follow us on Instagram for 4Y Ambition. It's a new page. Go ahead and hit that up. Also, you can follow us on Twitter with the 4-year ambition line. You hit the 4YA on that one as well.
All right, cool. And for myself, I'm just doing my own thing. I'm trying to start my little trucking company up and shit. So I'm just doing my thing. No handles, no nothing like that. I'm not on social media like that, but I'm just here to have a good time on the podcast. So chilling.
Appreciate you. Yeah. Appreciate you. All right, so let's jump right into it. When it comes to shooting the breeze, so we have children at a Virginia school sell their black classmates in a slave auction. I mean, this has happened before, but it was in Texas. But now they out there in Virginia doing something similar. And the preventable action that the school board made was to ban Black Lives Matter protests and LGBTQ protests. But fortunately, they wasn't selling the gay kids. So let's veer more closely towards the fact they were selling black kids on social media.
See, my whole thing, I didn't understand this because this is what the school board decided was the best course of action, was to ban Black Lives Matter protests and things like that after the white kids started selling the black kids. I'm like, why? I never understood. That don't even make sense.
It really doesn't. I mean,
like, it got on my nerves, and I showed him it. He was like, well, man, I don't even know why you showed me this.
Yeah, people have a habit of showing me wild stuff that's going to somewhat enrage me right before I go to work. I can't. Like, you understand, I got to deal with people in a customer service type environment for the next 8 hours, and you showed me this on the car ride to my destination.
Well, technically, I sent it to him like around 4 o'clock. He just didn't open it until he got ready to go to work.
Well, I mean, my boy work at night, so his
his
timeline is different. I try to crisply send him something between 7 a.m. and 10. That's when I use them. This is
beautiful
time.
It's a beautiful time.
Now, because certain things that we see we could use for the podcast, and I'm like, I know he is very intelligent that he's not going to cuss nobody out.
I'm not, but it's gonna be in the back of my mind. You just planted that seed.
But
I'm
truth be told, that's in the back of your mind already.
I'm just saying, some people might have got some shoddy customer service based on these. Maybe.
Probably.
They might be like, Brian was a little sriracha
Yeah.
on him today. He was a little spicy.
But I'm just saying, this whole issue was, first of all, at some point in time, why would you think it'd be okay to sell your black classmates in a slave auction? And one of the ladies, actually, she was a white lady and she has a black daughter, a mixed daughter. Mm-hmm. And one of her children were the ones that were sold on it. And she was like, I didn't understand why the board would even decide, we're going to ban Black Lives Matter or protest from it. It's
kind of a hard pivot that they made. Like they saw one issue going on, and it was like,
it's pretty bad.
It's like, all right, I'm just gonna Euro step on over here, and we're just gonna negate the whole issue. We're gonna try to kill it right here.
Did they really kill it?
But they didn't kill it.
It sounded like they're trying to kill it with gasoline.
Yeah. I mean, in their minds, they look at things a whole totally different than we do.
I mean, yes,
you know what I'm saying? They don't see what we see. So in their mind, they was trying to kill it.
And when I asked them about, what is the school board going to do about the white kids selling their black classmates? The board said, we're not available for comments right now, but we will do whatever to the school board's decision. And that was the school board's decision.
To not make a comment.
Yeah. So I
mean, but that's
really, they're trying to save other people that's involved. I mean, of course, these kids are You know, they're kids at the end of the day, but at the same time, they done did something that's pretty despicable. You know what I mean?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We 2020s and we still having these type of talks. Like,
That's the question.
That's the question.
That's what I always think to myself. And, I'm sure in the 80s and the 60s and 70s, and people's always like, we so far past
You know
that.
what, though? My uncle had a story for me, though, for the 80s. You know, they used to, like, still do, like, they were still doing racial jumpings and stuff back in the 80s. Like,
80s?
yes, like, riding up in pickups and having the, you know what I'm saying, black versus white boys just doing what they, just scrapping. Just
that happened not too long ago when I was still in high school.
Yeah.
That was 2000.
See, for us though, it was a lot of black versus brown.
That's why I was like,
I went to school in a small town in Louisiana. So we pretty much half of the school was on one side and the other half was on the other side, and it would be some scraps. Because it would be some black on white scraps going on.
Yeah.
So that was just as late as 2006, 7. Like.
We also got to take into account proximity.
In Louisiana, though, I can see that happening. Yeah. I'm from Louisiana too, so I can see it happening. But at the same time, I've been around some white people from Louisiana and sound like bro to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like I ain't. I'm not trying to make them out to be the villain or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I got some cool people. That I know that are of white. What is the
lineage?
Yeah.
It's all good.
So I mean, they good people. Most majority. I'm gonna say.
You know what though? When it come down to it though, it don't even be just a person that's white to me. It's usually someone who's really of privilege who happens to be white.
Right.
You know what I mean? So a lot of times it be, you know what I'm saying, the same person that, comes to school with a F-250, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Never really had to fight for anything.
I just feel like at a certain point they can't resonate. They don't because they don't have the same situations or same experiences as you, or they never had to deal with anything that you really had to deal with. It's like they disconnected. So when you telling them, oh no, white privilege, or they like, so you saying that the way I live on an everyday basis is a form of privilege, instead of me just being, oh no, my father worked and earned this or whatever.
That's because they've never been in the situation where they're the minority.
Right.
Like they've never had to look at something on the other side or have to, I know we've had this conversation 10,000 times. But they've never had to see the other side of the coin. Most of them don't have to work for anything. Like you say, they come to school with the 250.
Yeah,
my first car was a 95 Nissan Maxima.
You know what I'm saying? 95 Saturn.
Look, 95.
I put it in reverse. That mug kick.
One of the windows didn't roll down. You know what I'm saying? And I got that car.
Hey, made it work though.
Hey, we pulling up on 30 though.
Hey, real talk though. But like, they have a different thing that they have to look at, even for us. Like after high school, in most cases, their life is set. With us, we trying to figure it out right on the grip.
Yeah. There's a lot of figuring out going on. Them 20s is all figure out.
Just trying to make it
You know
work.
what I'm saying?
But
Throw some at the wall and hope it sticks.
Their parents and family have certain things set up for them. It's like, okay, you gonna run the family business, or hey, okay, we're doctors. Look like what you gonna be is a doctor or a lawyer or
a professor or something like that.
My thing is, okay, I have no issue.
Everybody's like that.
I have no issue with you having things and then passing those things off to your kids. Like, nepotism is real. It goes. I accept it. I wish that black people would do it more. First, you gotta get some stuff.
Goal for
that should be the goal for everybody.
Yeah.
But my thing is, when your family business or your family ideals lead to your child going to school and thinking it's okay to say, hey, your classmate over here, just because he got more melanin in his skin than you, you should go online and you should sell him.
See, that goes to a point where I would be like, at what point should you take this L with these hands versus oh, they're just children. Because, okay, remember, back in the day, you knew where you were on the chain by, okay, bruh, don't mess with such and such. You know, such and such got issues.
Break y'all.
Yeah. Like, if you keep on disrespecting me, man, we got stomp a mud hole in you real
Y'all
quick.
gotta realize, man, these kids is built different than we were.
Built different. I can't even say they built different.
I feel like I honestly feel like they are different as far as like
society is different.
I
put it like this.
It made them soft.
Nah, I'm gonna say it like this. A lot of them are very detached but sensitive at the same time.
I agree with that.
Yeah. I can agree with that.
Yeah. They will say that they savages, and then when you go off on them, they play victim real quick.
Easy.
Real
I
quick.
mean, I just feel like with us growing up, and I'm pretty sure we are all of us in that same era. You had to be tough.
Yeah.
You didn't have no choice. Like it wasn't no. You know, I always bring this to end. Like growing up, even playing sports, man. That honorable mention, that participation stuff, man, wasn't none of that. We ain't taking that.
Yeah.
You took an L, you took an L. That was it.
Did you win or did you lose?
That's it.
Oh, you lost? Go.
You lost? Well, shoot, you better get up. You gotta get better.
Do better.
Okay, everybody remember back in the day, if you got into a fight, you can't come home telling your mama or your daddy that you just got beat up and all that. Was it a one-on-one fight? You better get back out there and fight them. Like, you ain't gonna be over here taking L's just like that, because life you ain't gonna take no L's in life, are you? Oh no, you better get out there. Man, I remember my dad was cutthroat. Man, if you got out there and you fought, you better win. Don't start the fight, but you better not lose that fight.
Yeah, you don't take nothing off nobody.
Yeah, I mean that's just we were a little bit tougher, you know. But I feel like you say, these kids now they claim to be savages, but a lot of them are really sensitive. And then if you pull that rug from up under them, now they don't know how to stand up. And some of them, when they fall, they don't get back up. Their next resort is
they get depressed and anxious.
Now they got cyberbullying.
It's a different.
Turn the phone off.
Yes, like, oh my God, she told me I was ugly.
So now, with this generation now, you know how to. If I said something to you and I said something to you and I didn't know you, and then niggas don't know me, how?
Yeah.
And what?
Yeah.
I can make a post about you now, and it'll disrupt your life.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as with this generation.
For some people, yeah.
As far as with this generation, if I make a post about you.
You know what, though? We got to take it back, though. For us, let's take it back to what we felt on MySpace and see if we can even, like, if there's any type of recognition. Because put yourself into your 17-year-old self.
All right.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
17-year-old self.
You know what
they
I'm saying?
called me a MySpace hoe. And I was cool with it, though. But, I mean...
Man, I could never get my screen going, man. My music didn't play right.
Hey, my background went work.
Like, man, I'm not representing on you. Let me get out.
Man,
No, I'm done with that.
I was
at 17, my whole idea, I was just out here trying to get chose. I didn't care if you like me, they like me, whoever like me, as long as she like me.
Bro, I was different at 17, bro. I really didn't care. Like, I just was one of them ones that I was like, I'm going to the next step. Yeah. And I don't really care about who or what likes me or whichever person think I'm cool or whatever. I ain't care about none of that. I knew I was going somewhere further than the people that was around me.
That's how I felt to a degree too. Like, I knew I was gonna be moving on to school and everything, but at the same time, you still want. For me myself, I wasn't in that position where I was even felt like I was attracted. So I was like, man, you know what?
I mean, I feel you because I was in the same boat, bro.
Yeah.
Like just being honest, like I wasn't the first choice.
Because we were big dudes.
I felt attracted.
Mister with his shirt out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I wasn't always. My whole life wasn't based on that.
I honestly, to tell you the truth, I don't even believe you.
Like, no, in reality,
I'm not gonna hostile you on the camera. I got you, dog.
Nah. I'm gonna aim high.
But I'm just like, don't get me wrong. Maybe middle school, 7th, 8th grade, I got acne and all. But once the gym was introduced to my life and
I was in the gym too. I was just big in the head in the gym.
I mean, you know
I
what I'm saying? Like,
I was just big.
I was just wide bodied.
dude,
powerlifter though.
They had me.
I was probably.
I fluctuated from between 9th and 11th grade. I was like this the whole time. It wasn't nothing steady.
I was constantly.
You know what I'm saying?
I was always the big dude.
I ended up, I would go from one weight to the next, and then I would get taller and then get bigger, and then it just was like, what the hell? What is going on?
Yeah.
And then I had, you know what I'm saying? I didn't actually get this until like 11th, 12th grade.
Oh, okay.
So,
What?
you know, I was.
It made me shave mine.
Y'all are lucky. I didn't get this until I was 30 plus.
I mean,
Like, you know what I mean?
Everybody got their struggles, apparently.
I mean, I wasn't. I
Everybody got
just was
these
like, I know I wasn't the first choice for most females anyway. So I just was like, you know, it is what it is. My whole mindset changed once I got to be a senior in high school. Like when I looked at the fact that after this year, I ain't gotta look at none of these people ever again.
Right.
And I can reinvent myself into who I want to be.
What was it? 2002, 2003. That's when it really started taking off. And that was because big boys finally got a break. Because it was, I always heard back in the day about the skinny nigga. And I'm like, man, I ain't never been skinny. Even when I was small, I wasn't skinny. And then it was like, oh, skinny dude, this and all that. Then all of a sudden around 2002, 2003, it was like, man, people start checking for the bigger dude. I'm like, I'm in there. I'm in the game.
I mean, so you saying this, but okay, one at this we're gonna go back to the topic, but still,
Yeah, we deviated.
So-
that was my fault.
Yeah.
I brought that on. My bad.
so
Came
was
out with
Heavy D and Biggie not getting chose?
Heavy D wasn't getting chose
I mean,
like,
Bro,
but look,
like that.
look, Heavy
He was
D.
getting
If
chose.
Heavy D wasn't a rapper,
True. He
would-
probably wouldn't.
I'm not saying that he wouldn't get checked for. I'm not saying that I've never been checked for now. But I'm just saying that my options is definitely limited. That's all I'm saying.
Respect.
Yeah. So,
Respect.
Yeah, there's a chain of command with, you know what I'm saying? there's
If you a rapper, you know what I'm saying? Oh man, screw all the big boy stuff. You know, you
Yeah.
got rapper.
You know what I'm
you
saying?
Yeah,
And see,
yeah.
Heavy D had stuff that made him appeal to people. He
First
was
of all,
a rapper.
he was a rapper.
He had the shades on.
He
all
could
that.
dance.
And you were
He could
moving.
dance. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm just
I
saying.
got two left feet, player. I can't do all that. It wasn't
I
gonna
ain't
be
doing
no.
all that. I can move a little bit though.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I ain't
No,
doing that.
I just said I feel like once you start layering on your skill sets, like everybody
But
got
as
their
you get
base
older, though,
range.
As you
Yeah,
get
older,
older,
yeah.
people notice all your skill sets. When you younger, they see certain things that they want.
Everything was
Well, not
surface
just
level.
that though.
No.
Everything was surface
Everything was
level.
surface.
Everything
as
surface
teenagers.
level, and then you know what I'm saying, thinking that you putting yourself back, or you kind of like put yourself in a shell almost.
Yeah.
When you younger, so it's like,
Because you want to be accepted.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
you, that's when it boils down to it. Like you don't want to be outcast.
yeah.
And when
But going into that with this whole thing about these kids, tell me what in their mind like, because
You talking about what in whose mind? Which one?
I guess in all because okay, if I do some jacked up stuff and I talk to my friend about it, it's gonna be like, bruh, nah, don't do that.
Mhm. Chill
Like,
out.
that's not
Yeah.
what we're gonna do. But you literally got all your friends. If we even talk about back in the day, when you man, there was always a couple of people. Nah, bro, I ain't gonna do that one. Like you doing, you on your own with
Yeah,
that.
stop the car.
that was me.
I was that guy.
I'm just gonna be honest. I was the level head. I was the one that kept us out of trouble.
Yeah.
So anytime somebody had a stupid idea, I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna go and hop out this car. I'm gonna do whatever y'all gonna do. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go chill.
Yeah.
And they be like,
You right.
you right.
You right. Thank you.
But not,
30
no
minutes.
one
30
in
minutes
this-
later, we get a phone call on the phone. Man, they were letting loose at that party. I heard about 30 rounds go off.
Really?
See,
That's why we wasn't there.
Yeah.
You know.
But I'm just saying, not one of these students' friend was like, you know what, bro? Maybe we shouldn't sell our classmates.
Well, I'm just
Somebody might have been there, but that same person, there's some people that just go quiet and be like, you know, I'm not in that.
It's a little
I mean, I'm not gonna expect anybody to have to defend for me, but at the same time, you know,
I just don't-
want to.
some things you do you only gonna invite the people you know with that.
Yeah.
You know what
exactly.
I mean? Like, you wouldn't necessarily invite me to the football game. Because, B Hunt don't do football. Now, if we playing football, I'll show up. But if you want me to watch it.
Playing football, you still show up. It's like, I watch football sometimes, but not all the time. Like, these two are like die-hard football fans.
So,
period.
Correction. I will watch it, but if y'all invite me to play, I'm not.
I'm playing now, boy.
But what I'm saying is, you know what I'm saying? Only certain people got invited to the fantasy football. They like, no, you know what? Y'all gonna play fantasy football. I didn't get that invite because they was like, B Hunt not gonna watch it. He's gonna be a waste of time. He's not into it like that. So I feel like, especially if something as extreme as that, you ain't finna go up to your homegirl, your white homegirl with the black boyfriend and be like, you want to sell your man today? And she like, what the fuck you mean? You just find the people with it.
So here's what I'm thinking. What should the choices be?
I guess my question is, why would you put something like that on social media at the same time?
Because they don't be thinking.
They don't be thinking, or did they get outed?
I'm sure they got out.
Yeah,
they got outed. Somebody told. That's what it seemed to me.
If you posted that on social media, your black classmates gonna see you. Each person, and I think that should be one of the punishments. Either A, you get expelled, or B, that person that you sold, you got catch his face.
I say let them go ahead and just walk down Martin Luther King area.
Yeah. The straight of the post.
Walk down with
because wherever it's an MLK in everywhere. So
they'll be all right.
Man, I'm just saying.
In Dallas, we got Malcolm X.
Would you rather get expelled or catch the fade?
They'll take the suspension.
Oh yeah,
because they not.
But that don't stop the. They don't stop the fade.
They don't.
They gonna take. But
I'll say put them at ACC.
There you go.
Some of them.
What it's called.
And then, you know what I'm saying? Like some of them feel like there are no consequences to their actions, though.
Right.
Yeah.
Like if you are in a certain class, I'm not saying all, but there's this thing that it don't matter what I do, ain't nobody gonna do nothing to me.
My question would be,
and that's just privilege in general.
Yeah,
and it's not even attaching the color to it.
Yeah.
That's just privilege in any level. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Even the best athletes get that type of privilege.
Oh yeah,
right.
Most definitely.
You know what I mean?
Most definitely.
Up until they get to a point where that you know what I'm saying, they got themselves in something
that they can't get out of.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
you know
yeah. That happens a lot. But I'm just saying, like they have. I'm pretty sure that them kids was probably like, oh man, ain't nobody. Ain't nobody gonna sell me out, or ain't nobody gonna even if they do find out, ain't nobody gonna do nothing to me.
Yeah.
One question, and then we gonna move on.
Mm-hmm.
So, not too long ago, they passed the anti-Asian hate bill.
Mm-hmm.
Asian hate bill.
Well, you can't do hate crimes against Asian people specifically.
Really?
Right after Joe Biden got into office.
So, being that, most of the people who doing the hate on the Asian community, which I'm not saying it should, but I'm saying those, you mostly do hate against adults. But now we as black people have our children getting attacked, and there's no bill passed in our honor say, hey, you can't sell black kids online. That should be considered a form of hate. Because if cyberbullying is a thing, then
has it ever been anything to catered towards us?
No.
Nah, they had a couple of laws where they were trying to introduce, like trying to get them passed, called lynching bills, where they were like, oh, you can't do this to black people, you can't racially profile and things like that. But not one has ever been passed.
Right, never made it.
So,
but COVID got some,
Yeah, I mean, but we've been on this journey for quite some time now.
We have.
And have we seen anything switch since the journey started?
No. Not
There's a whole lot of resistance at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to get into that. We're
going to move on.
Yeah.
So, on a lighter note,
all right,
when should she pay half? Because there's a lot of people out there, these relationship gurus that are online, that tell you to be an alpha male, you have to pay for everything. And now, you know, as a woman, if she had to touch her gas tank or pay any bill, you less than a man. You can't call yourself an alpha. You got to call yourself a simp or whatever you is. But you can't be 100% man and she pay for something.
I'm gonna put it like this. Hey, I'm just gonna put it like this, and they probably gonna hate me for this. Man, people that do all that and they still trash.
Yeah.
They still trash. Like you could pay all the bills in the house, but that don't make you a man.
Not at all.
You know what I'm saying? So that whole adage is just stupid to me.
It is.
I never
It's
understood
stupid.
it.
It makes no sense.
I think that's a plan perpetrated by the woman to keep the black man in line. And I know that sounds like
what?
What do you mean, Malcolm?
Come on.
Speak on it.
Brother Jeremy.
Talk
Say your
about
bean
it.
pie,
because
bitch.
what I'm saying like this is being a man, or what we all grew up as a man, they basically tried to make that obsolete.
Well, here's the thing. I'm
like-
gonna just cut you off. Just to say, it's an ideal it's someone else's ideal what a man should be.
Right.
You cannot force your idea on something that you are not. Point blank. Period. I'm a man. I've been a man for 30 years. I know how to be a man.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna tell you how to be a woman. I'm not gonna tell you how to be anything that I am not. All right. Period. Point blank.
Right.
Period. I'm not gonna. I have nothing to really
We ain't got no experience with telling you how to be a woman.
at all.
You know,
I
right.
have no clue. At the end of the day, sometimes I be like, man, what's going on?
The whole thing I'm saying is, I'm not saying as a man there's certain things that, like, because, yes, if I ask a woman out on a date, yes, I'm going to pay because I asked you out because I want to go out with you. But for me to cater to your every whim because I'm the guy, you're the girl, no. Now, if you serious, you're my wife, or like we seriously here and we both have our defined roles, it's like, okay, I can see, okay, I do more of the paying on certain things, you do more of this on that, or like, for example, if you're cooking all the meals and everything, okay, well, when I come over to your house, you gonna cook. When you come over our house, hey, we going out, baby. Stuff like that. It's like, okay, cool. I look at it more of a give and take versus I'm a trick off or versus you pay half, because we both got put in the same bit of effort.
But gender roles are really blurred nowadays. There's no clear definition on who is supposed to do what anymore. Because and the reason I say that is because in some cases women want to be able to pick and choose, and men too. They want to be able to pick and choose what they want to do when they want to do it, when it's comfortable for them.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's why to me, the definition of gender roles and what a man is supposed to do and what a woman is supposed to do is, to me, it's out the window nowadays. Like it's not to.
Yeah. How I see it is gender roles with a caveman. At this point in life, there's no significant danger to simple stuff like going to get water in America. I can't speak for other countries, but in America, there's no significant danger to get you some water. Go turn the faucet on. There's no significant danger as far as finding shelter. I don't expect a jackal or a hyena or a lion or anything to walk through the front door, and I got to sacrifice myself for my family. Right. The most dangerous thing I got is apparently some children in Virginia who want to possibly sell me and my daughter on freaking line, but they won't come to your face with that. You know what I'm saying? So when we got it to where the same amount of resources that you and I can get, she can get as well. It's not like you the only person can go get a job. Everybody can go get a job.
Everybody get a job.
Yeah.
It's not like you, the water company and the electric company don't care who come in here and drop off this $200.
Pay me.
Pay me.
Or you gonna be out.
You gonna do without. Right. So when you put that in there, it's like, okay, so now the role of a man as a resource provider is now a unisex role. Ultimately, if she got to spend her time at work, because that's what a lot of people basing it on, like, oh, well, I'm hunting lions, so I don't really have time to make sure the kids learning this. So you do that. Now it's, well, I'm at work and I'm doing overtime. Nah, buddy, you do it. And you got to be like, well, I am off. So.
I mean, but to me,
No, do your thing.
Yeah.
With that, you know, as a man, you just gotta be comfortable in who you are as a man.
Yeah.
You can't let nobody else define. Like,
Exactly.
I don't mind cooking.
Me neither.
It don't bother me. You know what I'm saying? Like, my mama taught me how to cook, so I wouldn't have to depend on nobody.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was she told me when I got ready to go to college, it was like, I'm going to teach you this skill so that way you ain't got to depend on no woman to take care of you.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have no issue with doing it. Me and my wife take turns cooking, and we both work. Hey, would you Tuesday your night? What you doing? You know what I'm saying? We make it easier for each other. And with those roles, with certain people saying, well, I'm at work 9 times out of the 10, you should do it. Well, it's like, well, now, because I'm the man, you should do it. That ain't how. That makes no sense.
Right.
There's no productivity coming on between the two.
Right.
If we're bickering back and forth on who's supposed to do what.
I mean, that's just cooking, or
just cooking.
or
Just
just
cooking.
something simple.
Something
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's simple.
So, as far as going half on the bills or half on everything, it depends on if the situation is warranted. It depends on where y'all at in that particular relationship. Now, I'm not gonna say that to be in a relationship you need to be paying 50%. That's I don't feel like that. As a man, I do feel like I have to provide. So I do feel like I need to be making the greatest contribution to the household. Right. I do feel like that, but at the same time, you know, there may be times where I'm down and I have to lean on you, and maybe there'll be times that you're down and we have to lean on on me. I mean, that's just more or less this outcome. I'm not looking at it as like, oh, if you do this, you're trash. That's like,
right.
You know what I mean? So
when I look at it, I think of it like this, because most of the time when people attack this conversation, because even in the title, let's pay half. But if we talking about it, it's mostly monetary. Mm-hmm. But in reality, time trumps money. So who's paying the most time?
Is how I say time. Yeah. I say time, energy, effort, everything.
All that is encompassed into like that's the 100%.
Because you can give the monetary value
and be absent
with the time. I mean, that's why, like in some cases, when you have families and you have kids, well, you know, my daddy got me everything I ever wanted. Mm-hmm. Oh, well, did he miss your recitals? Did he come to your soccer games? Mm-hmm. Was he there when you were playing basketball or what? Mm-hmm. No, he had to work. Mm-hmm. And then they have a resentment. Right. Because he wasn't there. Yeah. But he provided me with everything I needed monetary-wise. But the actual pouring into me and helping me develop into the man I needed to be, he lacked in that. Yeah. He didn't give me a good example of it. Mm-hmm. Right. So I agree. The monetary, that's what we tend to gravitate towards.
Yeah, it's because it's objective. It's something you can physically measure. Yeah. That's the reason why a lot of people can gravitate towards it. But any type of relationship, any type of real relationship, the things that really matter, the things that's free, the time, the energy, the effort, you know what I'm saying? And the tone in which you deliver your energy to that person too, you know? You can't just be out reckless with your energy and expect someone to want to stay around that. Right. You know what I mean?
Right.
So.
Yeah. So with encompassing all that, sure, because of the way it's been set up or how we've been taught, majority of the time, people mostly want to say, hey, you as a guy, you need to provide such and so on a monetary level, because women want to say, hey, we're the nurturers and all that stuff. Although I'm being honest, I feel like I'm a great nurturer. Let's just be real about it.
Yeah.
But in reality, you know what I'm saying, it's assumed from a masculine perspective, if there is somebody who's going to be absent, most of the times they expect it to be you.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's just the way that society has conditioned our community to think that the father is an obsolete individual.
Yeah, he's
inside of the community.
Right.
And if this recently, I've seen fathers be more involved than ever.
Mm-hmm.
Because, and this is just my opinion, these fathers nowadays know how it feels to not have one, so they're doing their damnedest to make sure that their kids have it. I've watched both of y'all do what y'all do,
Right.
and that's something different. What y'all do with y'all kids, and more, I've seen you more so than you, but I've seen you develop a person,
Right.
you know, and so we're not giving much credit on doing that. It's mostly the mother. It's mostly she's the one, and you know how they always say, "That is maybe mama's babies."
Yeah.
Whatever, you know. And as a community, that's just where we've gravitated to. The father doesn't exist in most places. So we're trying to spin that narrative and bring it back.
That narrative is changing. I will say that though.
Now, I will say, yes, that narrative is changing. But one of the things is like you were saying, we don't give enough props to is always, oh, well, that's what you're supposed to do. But if we flip that whole thing, I mean, you give all those props to the mother that's doing everything she can to help and raise her children. I don't believe no woman should do it on her own. I don't believe no man should do it on their own. I believe it should be a joint effort. And if that person's not in the household with you, hey, if you got to do it from over here, over there, or an uncle, somebody step in, so it's not just on that one person.
I'm not going to say that with the uncle, you know, if uncle do step in, that's good for him. But at the same time, that uncle it's not his right, or it's not his, one of those things that he should have to.
Yeah, it's not his
He
obligation.
should have to.
Yeah.
But
If he does it, that's great.
Yeah.
But it's not something he should have to do.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? We need to be, as men, we got to be responsible for our own kids, man.
Very true.
For real.
Like,
Yeah, like that's something we got to hold ourselves accountable for, as far as not just black men holding each other, but as your own man, you need to hold yourself accountable for that.
Yeah.
Self-accountability is one of those things we got to strive for.
Yeah, most
So,
definitely. I agree 100% with that.
No.
Yeah.
Because we, you know, sometimes, and there's so many different things that factor in why certain things are the way that they are. And I remember going up and down my timeline on Father's Day, and I saw some women taking credit for Father's Day.
Right.
Yeah.
That's to me, that's insane.
Yeah.
But
That's
but
retarded.
Because you got your own day.
you have a day.
And it's, to me, it's not, I'm gonna put it like this. You knew who you was laying down with when it happened.
Right.
He didn't just become this person overnight. You knew who you was picking. So just like with any other action that you have, there's a consequence to it. So if he was doing A and B back then, just because you got a child don't mean that he gonna continue to do A and B, or if he gonna hit the switch and also all of a sudden become this perfect person.
Right.
You have to look at who you're with before you start it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the times the warning signs are there.
Right.
You just don't know. You're just so wrapped up inside of the feeling that you have at that time that, oh, I didn't know he was gonna be like this. Or even with men, I didn't know she was gonna act like that.
Yeah.
You knew. You saw it. You just wanted to ignore it because you had that momentary feeling.
It's a good time.
Yeah, it was a good time. And I know I shifted, but I just was, as far as with these, who should pay half and all that, man, like, it's already hard enough living in this world.
Yeah.
Life is hard. And as an adult, bickering over small things, monetary things, just adds to the stress of our already hard job that we have to live every day.
Right.
You know, so I mean,
I just look at it. If you both are working, why not? Hey, if I got it, whoever get that wallet first. If I got it, baby, no, I'm gonna take care of it. If I left my wallet at home, let's say, whatever, which me, I don't leave my wallet nowhere except on me at all times. But for the most part, there are times where it's either you got out the car or you forgot it or something like that. Okay, I'm going to make sure if I have it, if I don't have it today, baby, you need to come out your pocket because we in this together.
My thing is, I look at it, there's a bill to be paid. And now for dating people, I see it a little different because at that point, everybody trying to explain who they are. Hey, I'm somebody who can provide you with a meal. Once we get past dating and we get to being one, in reality, the concept of I pay for everything, you pay half. No. It's one account. It's ours. It's our life now. We won. So it really don't necessarily matter who picking up the check because it's coming out of our reserves.
Yeah.
That's
So-
how it should be.
And that's how it should be.
Right.
But in some cases, it's not that way. But as far as with dating, when you do that, sometimes you set a false expectation.
That's true too.
If you're going to, if you say that you're going to pay for this, that's probably going to factor into why she's going to marry you.
So you
So,
brought it a
hold
different way.
But even the way
Carry
you
on.
brought it up, that makes a lot of sense. Now, I'll say it like this, though. For those people,
You know, like,
because, I mean,
That
what you
makes
said
sense.
makes a lot of sense. But we, both sides play false expectations. Like, for example, one of the main reasons a lot of dudes be talking about they don't want to get married because right after they get married, sex goes down, that passion goes down.
No.
Because all this is now I got the bag, so I ain't got to work for the bag no more. Because when we in dating stages, women be very quick to give it up. Now, when you in the
I'm going to say
we
this.
here stage,
I'm going to say this. When you get the bag and you sit it down, that's how you go broke.
yeah,
That's how you go broke.
That's how you go
Because
broke.
if you're not continuously adding to that bag, you're going to be broke.
Yeah.
very true.
Very
You
true.
know?
That's
So, like, whatever you did to get her, she's going to expect for you to do it to keep her. So if you come out the gate, Chrysler 300, Tesla dropping $300-$400 on every meal, that's not going to be able to stop.
That's
If
the
you
norm.
start that, because
That's
that's
the
her
norm.
normal.
Yeah.
That's what you're
Yeah.
gonna do.
Yeah.
You've
If
introduced her
y'all
to that.
living at, if y'all going on trips,
Y'all
staying
doing
at
all that.
5-star hotels,
You doing
this is
all
what you
that.
got to keep up.
You doing all
If
that.
you come out the gate like, look, this is where I'm at. This is where I'm trying to go. I mean, and I'm just gonna speak from personal experience. When I started dating my wife, she knew what I wanted, where I wanted to go, what type of relationship I wanted to have, because these were conversations that we had. I didn't want to set no false expectation. And I knew financially I wasn't in a place to be able to do certain things. And I let that be known. And so now that we're married, we're making those steps to get to those places, I'm able to do more because, one, I'm in a better situation, and two, I let her know from the beginning, like, hey, this is where we're at, but this is not our ending
not the
place.
end point.
This is where we're gonna go. And when you do that, I feel like you give the person the choice to be able to take the ride with you,
Right.
or they can jump off the ship and you can get somebody else to take the ride with you. But if you come out with the ride already put together, and when the ship starts to go down a little bit, she ready to jump because it's like, oh, hold on. Why we over here?
Are we on here?
Why we driving this? Why we pulling up the Whataburger? I know this Texas, you know.
Hey, what? Hey,
yeah,
respect
You
Whataburger.
know, I respect it. You know, I love it. But I'm just saying, like, you know, you got to set some realistic expectations.
Understood.
Yeah.
Speaking of realistic expectations, you have to compete in this game. Do you think it's harder for women or men out here when it comes to the competition of getting that person, getting to the one you want out here?
I'm gonna let y'all start that off.
I mean,
I'll start off. So I think it's one of those things where it actually ebbs and flows. It starts off with women having that upper hand, and as men get older, men actually have a piece of the pie, that piece of the pie, as we get older. So the more we build ourselves up, the more we actually become more who we supposed to be. Then we actually start having that particular stance or being able to be higher up on the totem pole. And unfortunately for women, it actually goes the opposite direction from youth. You know, they actually go down. I say especially towards their 40s if they're single and into their 40s and 50s. It's one of those things where it's going to be really hard for them to really be able to secure anyone, you know?
Right.
So.
Because piggybacking on what you said, in my mind, it gets more difficult for women as they get older because men aren't necessarily looking for what you're looking for. Because if you spent your time building up, you know, a secure foundation and from a financial aspect to a home and all that, most men are told from a young age, you got to go get that on your own. So you got a house and I got a house. Now it's like, well, who house is bigger? And they be like, it don't really matter to a guy. It's like,
yeah,
that's
what you want.
I want it, you know. I'm looking for, how do you look right now?
Yeah.
How do you treat me right now? How do you how do you interact with me? So in the beginning, like you said, women hit that peak earlier. Boom, you can hit the peak. So now
they start out at the peak.
Yeah, you start out at the peak. You know, you start out at the peak of, like, if you at 25, everything is right and tight, and you should be on the. Hey, let me start talking to you about getting used to this space, and then you got to look at. Women got to think future. I know he's this right now, but what is his potential? A guy got to look at it like, okay, this is the height, and most likely it's gonna wane off from here. So,
but I'll tell you like this: there's a lot of women that we tend to choose the right women though. Like we'll be like, yo, I'm looking at her and I can see she's still gonna be gorgeous to me. Well into my 70s, you
right?
Know what I'm
I'm straight. By the time 70, erectile dysfunction ain't real.
Yeah. You know?
I hope not. I'm just being honest.
Hey, I mean, you know,
dropped off about the blue pills.
You know, they got the blue pills.
True, I gotta do what I gotta do. I'm
gonna
keep attacked. Stay focused.
Hey, just stay focused, my friend. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. Now, I agree with y'all. In the beginning, it is the woman. It's basically like starting off the race. She took off out of the gate super fast.
Got a head start.
And you like, man, I'm trying to catch up with her. So basically, you just eating her dust for a little while. Then all of a sudden, you start building that pace up. But she start to slow it down a little bit because of the different things that we want.
Yeah.
Like, because as a man, I want someone attractive to me. I don't care about all the other stuff.
Yeah.
She's attracted to me. Someone that treats me right. Someone that loves me. And something I could really ride with and hold on to. If we can't have a real conversation, it's an issue.
Right.
But as women get older, they start wanting the things that we have. But if you don't have all the other things that we ask for, now the roles start shifting, and I start speeding up as you starting to just hit that putt-putt move.
I mean, they tend to develop a little faster than we do mentally and physically. In my opinion.
Yeah.
You know, like their thoughts.
I don't know about.
I'm starting to understand. It's starting to be to a point now. It's like they develop certain things mentally, but then on some other things, I'd be like, okay, now I see that there's a little.
Because okay, for example, like when I was in high school and everything, and you know, I always heard women develop mentally faster than men and everything. I'm like, how? Like, because if you're talking about sexual wise, yes, I'm young, I want sex, but you dropping it off to this older dude because everybody knew a girl in high school that was talking to a dude, either a freshman in college or someone that just graduated and stuff like that. I'm like, basically, he wants the same things, and you want the same things. You just think he's more mature because he's older.
No, she think he's more mature because he has a driver's license and his car that his daddy bought. that, like, honestly, like, bro, real talk. It was this, well, I called her Sean's sister because I never really knew her name. But you could not get a girl if Sean's sister was around. Like, she was gay. But regardless, you couldn't. She had the car candy red with the spinners on it. She had the tats. She had the muscle shirt. She been out here living on her own since 15. Got a spot. Like, how do you beat her? She come with bank and cars and everything. So you as a guy, a young kid who, like I said, you said 93. And I'm a Honda 88.
Yeah.
And she got the grill. You like, look, buddy, like, come on, dog. You 22 now. Stop pulling up on us little kids and taking all our opportunities.
But that's how they stay relevant, though.
Yeah.
That's how they stay relevant. Yeah, I mean, you the appeal of the older people for younger people is strictly off of what they see.
Yeah.
It's not. It's all face value,
and that and the fantasy that they put in their head too.
Yeah.
I mean that's really where the traction is won is up in here, the back of the mind.
Yeah.
So the biggest thing is, she has something that nobody else has. The fact that she was able to write a story without really saying too much.
Not saying much. She just showed up.
Yeah.
Gold grill tats.
Yeah.
In a red, I forgot exactly what car it was, but it was far nice.
It might have been the Caprice or the
whatever it was.
You know what I'm saying?
She was on
the box Chevy or something. It might have been one of them.
But the biggest thing is that we all been trying to get women for I don't know how long. But in order to get a woman, you got to get her mind. We all know that.
Right.
Yeah.
So
but over time, you develop that to learn.
Yeah.
Okay, what works, what doesn't work. Now at this point, like basically, you ain't really got to worry about it too much because it's like, for one, we all off the market, but it was basically, I got your mind. Where the mind goes, the body will follow.
Yeah.
But I guess the reason that the trend now has started to change is because men that are just out of blue, just single now, they know that same thing too. All these things that I have, she won't. So she gonna give me what I want, or she could step to the wayside. So now, a lot of dudes ain't getting married no more.
I see it like this. Like, the opposite sex is the equivalent to a video game. I know how to make Paige happy. My daughter, I know how to make her happy. Like, you come in here with some candy, she's your friend. For the most part. You know what I'm saying? So, that's an easy stage. That's the first basic beginner stage for every guy. You want the kid's attention, go buy some freaking candy. Done deal. You get to 10 years old, it might be a bicycle, it might be a phone, it might be, but it's something simple. And you like, once you reach adulthood, I beat that stage. I know how to get everybody 10 and under. We've been through 20. So now, in essence, if I wasn't married and I was like, I need to talk to a 20-year-old, I'm going to go get the nicest car. I'm going to go put on the nicest clothes. I'm going to stay in the gym, XYZ, because I know that's what they want. That's what they want. Get to 30 and you talking to them, by the time you reach 31, 32, majority of the women you finna talk to got kids. You know this, I know this. It's like, now I'm talking to you, I got to be able to, one, make your kid happy enough to let me stay around. You go to work every day, so I gotta understand she got a life outside myself. So,
can't ask for too much time.
And so the game a little difficult, but I feel like by the time we reach 40, you'll be looking at, hey, if I want to go get a 30-year-old girl right now, I need to show up with some Papa Do's and a Happy Meal, and I'm straight. Like, it's easy.
For the most part.
Papa Do's Happy Meal.
It's that simple, bro.
It ain't that simple.
It's not that simple. But I'm saying, overall.
It ain't that simple.
I don't know. I've been chilling.
That might be the starter pack, though.
I had to go get me some VC real quick.
Got you. You on.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? It's just like once you get to where you operate, you start to break it down. You start to get it. And you know, that's why a lot of people was like, oh, did somebody give you the game? Like, yeah, you know, my dad helped me get to this point, or my older brother helped me get to this point because he's seen it, he's done it, it's not new to him.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas it might be hard for me to go buy a quarter sucker. It's easy for him. Why? Because he cut lawns now. Why? He learned it. I got to talk to her. She don't want no broke guy. It makes sense. And once you start breaking it down, women or the opposite sex are levels. You want to, if you the girl who people don't necessarily find extremely attractive, I'm not saying all women are beautiful in their own way. But most of the time you get the girl who have self-esteem issues, the first thing she do is, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go out here and be flirtatious and open my legs. Unfortunately, that's the truth.
But that ain't even where they gotta go nowadays.
It really don't.
They
You get on
ain't gotta go
Instagram.
on that route no more.
Now you just got Instagram.
Just take a picture.
That's true too.
The pictures don't lie.
No, knock knock. Okay. But I mean, yeah. Huh. Cool. It's an extra. Outside of that, back to what I'm saying. When you go to that space, you can pretty much figure out, hey, this is how they moving. And once you've been through that game and you play at that level, you can succeed. It's just, it's cut and dry, really. Most people want the same stuff.
Yeah.
Once you reach a certain age, everybody wants a home. Yeah. I don't care if it's a house or an apartment. You want a home.
Yeah. Something you can call your own.
I want mine now.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the phase that we at. We went through that 20-year-old development stage to where we trying to figure out, well, what are we going to do to get the things that we want? Mm-hmm. Now we putting all those things that we was planning at 20 into effect to ultimately see, did I plan this right? Is this going to work?
Well, but you also know there's going to be some tweaks here and there.
You got to tweak it.
Yeah.
You definitely got to tweak it.
So, who do y'all honestly think, in the grand scheme of things, has it harder? Do you think it's the exact same? It just we do it at different times, or do you think men kind of have it a little harder, or you think that the ladies have it a little harder? Just your honest opinions.
As a general sense, the men have it harder. They start off harder, and if they don't better themselves, it's gonna be a hard life for them.
Right.
You know what I mean? For the women, it can be hard if they don't take care of themselves.
Right.
So it's to a point where now it's just, you know, it's really what you want to make out of life. Of course, is what you want to make out of it, but really, you know what I'm saying, for a man, we just got to build ourselves up to a point to where we can do what we want to do. You know what I mean? As far as, you know, financially, heck, even going into the gym, doing what we can to keep our health up and right. And also building up our emotional sensibilities, because that's something that coming out of high school, well, I was.
I mean, but we're
we're
not conditioned that way though, bro. Like we that emotional side of us, that ain't
sensibilities.
Yeah,
I said sensibilities, not like being like overly emotional or nothing like that, but having that intelligence to be able to pick up on certain things and stuff.
I will say the only reason that I had that was because I grew up around all girls. That's the only reason.
I grew up around my mom and her sister. They wasn't normal. They wasn't normal.
I mean,
they wasn't like they wasn't. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. They wasn't like most women. So so that was a little getting into the world. I was a little shocked. I was like, okay, yeah, I'm a little out of place.
Yeah, I mean, it's different. Out of my grandmother's 7 grandchildren, I was the only boy. So I grew up around nothing but
women.
Yeah, women, and my 2 sisters plus my cousins. Like I had a learning curve on how to be a little bit more sensitive when it comes to certain subjects and certain issues. And when I got ready to go out into the world, it was a little bit easier for me to pick up on certain stuff because I had already had that. But for a lot of my partners,
nah.
It was like,
oh yeah, my mom knew from Detroit.
Oh,
so they tough.
Yeah. Motor City in the building.
Yeah.
You know, like,
They
Respect.
tough. I'm like,
yeah.
okay, this is different from what I was at the house going through. All right, cool.
Well, I agree with you. I agree. Well, my whole thing was, it was just like, as a dude, because I was overly aggressive. I was always aggressive because, like you said, all women. It was all dudes. The only woman around was my mama, and then my mama's too strong for TV and all that kind of stuff too. She cussed you out in a heartbeat. She was cutthroat. Man, I was like, so I was just always aggressive. Yeah. So I tried to cover it up, like, okay, man, women want a softer guy, but then I started like, man, it's like extra soft. I'm like, and even now to this day, it's hard for me to have that balance because either I'm extra aggressive or I'm like, okay, I'm doing a little too much.
I learned that balance over the years, like, just to be honest. Like, with my mama is as soft as can be. Like, the most gentle, most kind woman I've ever known. My aunts, her sisters, from the West Coast, straight out of L.A., South Central.
Okay.
So that was the other side of that.
Yeah.
Their kids, tough. My sisters, my older sister's tough as nails, but she's soft. My baby sister, soft. So I had to balance those things, and then like being around my partners, I was like, oh, it ain't nothing but masculinity in here. So I gotta make sure I keep this up because ain't none of these niggas gonna think I'm soft. You know what I'm saying? And so that's where sometimes I could end up being overly aggressive because it's like this is a testosterone filled room and this is where it's gonna stay. You know, so having to grow up and grow out of what's deemed extreme masculinity and what finding a fine line between those things is what I learned in them 20s.
Yeah.
Right.
Because it's like certain conversations you couldn't have with your partners in years. Certain stuff. And as I've gotten older, I feel more comfortable saying certain stuff and talking about certain things because now that I'm older, it's like, shit, I'm over here struggling by myself, but my partner could be going through the same thing. And he might see a point of view or a perspective that I don't have. So let me hit him up. Let's talk about it. And then I might have a resolution to it. But back then it was just like, if you talk to your boy, you soft. You know what I'm saying? Man, you tripping, dog. What you get out there. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it was just like it was just finding a balance in between those. And it took a little time. It was some bumps and some bruises along the way.
Yeah. With everything.
Well, I mean, because that was the whole thing. And that actually brings up this next topic.
All right. So overly feminine men, overly masculine women. Could this be the reason dating is so hard?
Because the reason I think about this topic is because sometimes as men, either we'll be so much on one side or the other that we don't actually have that balance to make it through this game. Like, every woman wants their guy to be able to open up with their feelings. But no woman wants a dude over here whining, crying. Oh my God, he don't know what to do. For the most part, your woman wants you to be, hey, I can take care of this situation. Need be.
My thing, so as a man, the balance is you gotta understand that there's really no tears for testosterone. No. Like, nobody crying. If you got a certain amount of testosterone, ain't nobody crying for you, bro.
Nah.
It don't work like that.
Nah.
So you got to take that into account, and then you have to still provide the person you with a certain level of security to where they understand there's certain levels, there's certain layers of you that only I can reach. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the equivalent would be everybody can eat on the plates in the cabinet, but when you go to the fine china drawer, it's only certain people with the key. It's only certain people gonna get to that.
Yeah.
And it's just how it works. So when you being a guy, and let's just say you are an overly feminine guy, well, at a certain point, you gonna go through and when you're talking to women, your rejection is instant. It's not over time. It's not once you figure out who you are that she tell you get out the way. She gonna tell you from the beginning, no, buddy, I don't like what you're doing. And then it's up to you to pick up those signs and adjust and say, okay, she said my mannerisms are too soft. Okay, you gonna toughen them up. You gonna shake.
I'll say it like this. That's like on the level of like some of your behaviors and stuff. But there's sometimes, just there's some, I should say not actions, but some behaviors that you do that are just subconscious to you that you wouldn't be able to pick up until you get around that person. You know what I mean? Like maybe just the way that parts of their characters may be feminine, as opposed to you being an actual feminine acting person. You know what I mean?
Right.
But in those situations, it probably take a few months for you to actually figure out, okay, he really don't respond well to this. I'm not really messing with him. You know what I mean? Or same thing with a woman. You might get around her, and you get to knowing her, and you just realize, okay, I really don't like the way she talk. It may not even be the way she talks to you, but the way she talks to other people around you. You like, I really don't like your tone.
I ain't rocking with this.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Does anybody here actually really like a truly aggressive woman?
Aggressive in what nature?
Like,
it depends on the situation.
Yes, like in certain, I'm like, certain
aggressive
dudes want their woman be aggressive and little, especially if I'm always aggressive and things like that. Yeah, sometimes her giving me that little bit of buck back and everything and things is cool. But like a woman that, like for example, they got the women out here proposing to men.
No,
I've never reached that level.
And on top of proposing to men, they got the women out here asking the dudes on dates.
Are they paying though?
Oh,
I might have been down with that if they paying. I'm like, you got what you drive?
Honestly, there's nothing wrong with someone asking a dude out for a date. If it's just like out of the sense, I just thought you was not, I wanted to get to know you or whatever. Right. There's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing at all.
But to me, that whole masculine thing is like the type of how you are projecting your energy all the time. You know what I mean? Right. Like, are you constantly trying to like make sure that you being heard all the time? It's like, bro, like chill out. Like,
I ain't got to be heard all the time. Yeah. But to kind of answer your question, like my wife is a firecracker. I know it. I know she is.
In a good way.
But she in a good way. Just in case you watch it, baby. You in a good way. I know she can take charge in certain situations if need be. But she know how to step back and let me take the wheel. You know what I'm saying? So it just depends on the situation. Now, if we at a restaurant and they mess my food up and I say it's cool.
Oh, Lord.
Come here. He didn't ask for this. Take this off of here. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to let you do that. But in certain cases, when there's certain things that need to be taken care of by me, she know that, hey, I'm going to let him do his thing.
Yeah.
So it just depends on the situation.
Yeah.
Because I grew up to where I was like, I don't really like confrontation. I'm a non-confrontational person. So that whole arguing back and forth with me, you ain't gonna get no results from me. That's just how I don't argue with people. Never have been one of those people. If you set out to argue with me, I'm just gonna sit there and look at you, and then that's gonna make you even more mad because I'm not responding. But by this time, I done tuned you out and I done shut completely down. And in some cases with men that love for a woman to yell and go back and forth, and that's something's not right inside of your mind with that.
Yeah,
that's an underlying issue somewhere.
To me, that sounds like he wants the drama type of deal. Yeah. You want that chaos. I'm not into chaos at all.
I like my life to be as smooth as possible.
Right.
Simple.
Yeah, simple. Like, why create with the popular word now, why create a toxic home environment?
Yeah.
When in most cases where you are outside of your home,
You docile.
You know, it's chill. Or if you have a hostile work environment, why have a hostile home
environment?
You know,
Double down. Huh?
Like you just living a miserable life all the way around.
Yeah.
You don't get no peace.
Yeah.
So, like, women, and you know, there's some women that love drama.
Mm-hmm.
They want to have a issue with their man every day.
Mm-hmm.
They want certain stuff to happen around them to where it's like they can call somebody and be like, "Girl, you know what just happened and such and such." Or I done been in rooms around people where they'll start the fight and then they'll go in the room, get on the phone. Girl, you tell me what this nigga just did? It's like, you started this whole damn thing.
Wow.
You're the centerpiece.
You're the reason why it's so much.
You're the cause.
It's so much tension in this room now because you did it.
Look, we always had this mantra saying, "You the cause. You the reason why this happens. You gotta get out the sticks."
Yeah.
You gotta get out the sticks.
You gotta stop.
You gotta hold on. But it's just it's crazy. Like, some people just enjoy
chaos. Some people like
now,
chaos.
Would you say that's the same thing? Because I've heard a lot of women say this is like it's more of a turn on to for their man to get aggressive with them, so they kind of start certain conflict to do it.
That sounds like a behavioral issue.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. That sounds like a behavioral problem. Like, because who wants to have that happen to them? Like, I don't know a person, like, I don't want to call them crazy, but I don't know a person in their right mind that wants to be a part of chaos.
Yeah.
People watch reality TV because they don't want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Like,
I see it, but I don't want to take it home.
I don't want to live like this.
Nah.
Like,
That's for them. That's
so, I mean, who wants to have that going on around them all day
the
long?
time?
And then, because you don't even know what you're going to get when you come through the door.
Nah, you come in the door and, like, you already up on something that I'm like, I just walked in the house.
And just imagine if y'all got kids together in this house.
Yeah.
That turns into a whole nother level.
That's,
you know what I'm saying?
That's where that old thing where dudes drive around the block a couple of times.
Before you go home?
Or sit in the parking lot. Be like,
That's that where you go get some milk and never come back home.
Yeah.
I was out there. I went to get some bread.
Yeah, I went to go get some bread, and 22 years later, I got a whole nother family.
Yeah.
Cross town.
Get some cigarettes. But you don't smoke.
Hey,
I smoked today.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get me some menthols.
Yeah.
Straight Newports.
I need that.
Yeah,
Man.
Tough.
I don't know, dog. Like,
You got a pants on with no pockets, bro.
Hard. But going back to it, now we made cases toward the men being feminine, but now let's make cases to outside of the factor, but women being masculine. So in my mind, the masculine and feminine, although there is a clear distinction, I still believe certain parts of it were ushered in with the gender roles. Like I said,
Yeah.
you being somebody they could consider nurturing isn't something that they consider in the masculine realm. But also the inability to nurture will also lead you to be somebody that, hey, that's an absent father. He did what fathers do, or what the expectation was for the time.
Yeah.
But now that, hey, you got a dance recital or you go in a band or something, and he said, no, I gotta go and get a check, so I can't come and be a part of that for you. Whereas,
I mean, you got some women that don't need to be mothers. Like, you got some of them that just they're not a nurturing type of individual at all. Like, it seemed like it should come natural, but there are some that just they're not good at it.
But my question would be, should we even have the word nurturing in the masculine and feminine realm?
Honestly,
I don't think so. But what I'm saying is like,
both sexes can nurture.
Yeah, because
they just
you
try
nurture
to.
me.
Yeah,
Like I mean,
It's a different way of doing it.
The reason that they put nurturing as a woman thing because of the gender roles back then, because of guys being so masculine and hard that they were always in this mindset to work, and women were at home with the children. So it was like, oh, the woman's nurturing. Doesn't mean that only women are nurturing. Mm-hmm. It doesn't mean that women are more nurturing than men. Mm-hmm. It's just the fact of the matter. That was the dynamic at that point in time. So they weren't able to switch it up too much. Because it was like, me go get money, you stay here with the kids. You go and watch the kids, you take care of the kids in the home and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So you end up seeming more nurturing. I don't believe that it's, in women, they're just nurturing just because they're women. And I'm like, men are nurturing too. It just all depends on the type of man.
But a major case for when you check these online forums, there's always the question, well, what do you bring to the table? And every time it's a man might buy a house, but I'll make it a home. I'll be like, I don't agree. I feel like, in all honesty, I feel like my PlayStation makes it more of a home. In certain cases, because I chose it to be there. It is always compliant. It doesn't give me back. It doesn't do much negative in my life.
And if I unplug it and pack it up, I'm taking
it with me. Yeah. I'm saying, what makes a hotel more home-like? I got my PlayStation.
You got my PlayStation.
Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to. I'm not. No, don't get confused. I'm not discounting women in any way. No, but I'm saying there's at no point should you be like, the best thing I do for you is this act or this. I feel like no. Women are selling themselves short with this whole, I do the nurturing thing. I make stuff. I multiply. I'm like, no. Granted, you do, but there's a complete package to a woman that is outside your ability to nurture. In this new age, in this new world, you can hit them with what I bring to the table. I paid for half the table. Like the Xbox you play on, the one that you love so much, I bought you some games.
Or I bought it.
Yeah.
In most cases, I bought this game.
Right here in the middle of the.
Yeah. In most cases, I bought the game.
Look.
You know.
32 minutes. Look. Give me 1 second. We right here at 3 minutes. and 30 some seconds left of this podcast.
All right, wrap it up.
Ooh, Lord. Oh, guys. And that's what he meant by firecracker in a good way.
By certain situations, she know how to.
Let me interject. You doing too much. Come through and get this right. Respectable. Okay, respectable. So, like I'm saying, if your skill sets or whatever you limit yourself to is all based on your, like, no, this is what I do, so I don't have to do that. I feel like there's a duality to human beings to where, no, I as a person, I have a multitude of skill sets. I might not be just a master of one, like, but the complete term, a jack of all trades is a master of none, but is still better than a master of one. If your only skill set is one skill set, and that's to make a house a home, it's not enough.
But how you make a house a home?
That's
my real question, because everybody says that. But
you know how you make
really do it?
How you make a house a home? You take the resources that someone else's, from their perspective. I take his resources and I buy him things so he won't have to go out and buy them.
But in most cases, the way the house is decorated, the furniture, most of that stuff, it be their choice.
It be their choice, but
you know what I'm saying? Like,
are you not capable of making that choice?
I can make the choice myself, but do I care?
I don't like doing that. Like, I literally don't like
I don't care.
I mean,
the whole living room was designed by her.
Hear me?
The bedroom.
I'm cool with
Do
that.
you?
Yeah.
I don't care. As
Yeah.
long as I can lay down and it's comfortable, I'm straight.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't care.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
we don't, like there's just certain parts of that whole thing that I'm like, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't
like,
matter.
I mean, and then in the to piggyback off of what you said, in most cases nowadays, you know, maybe back in the 50s, 60s, 70s, you know, they would take your resources and buy
and do it.
whatever.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
in most cases nowadays, a good majority or maybe even half of those resources are hers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like,
It's different.
it's your money too.
Do what you
yeah.
want to
Do
do.
you?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I got my list. Can
Yeah.
I lay on it?
Right.
Done. It's my Xbox and my
All I
PlayStation.
need is an Xbox, so I'm good.
You know
That's
what I'm
what I
I mean,
It's my PlayStation. Can
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where I lay my
TV is
controller
Yeah,
is my home.
all I need is the TV,
my game is right
the game
here.
system.
I got my Madden, my 2K, whatever. Bam, I'm straight.
I'm good.
The
It's
rest
food
of
in
the
the
shit.
Yeah,
refrigerator.
yep. You know what I'm saying?
You
I
know
might,
what I'm
I might
saying?
go
Like-
get a barbecue grill or something outside.
Yeah,
That's about it.
yeah.
That's all I
I might
need.
want, you know what I'm saying?
I don't need too much.
Give me a panini or something. Something,
Something.
you know what I'm saying?
Something.
That's about it. You know, I don't really care.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I don't know. Going back to the point, the whole masculine, feminine thing, I really feel like it's a lot of stuff that a lot of people online are having arguments about or having
Yeah.
dialogue about.
Yeah.
And in reality, I feel like you just an out of date iPhone. You need to update to the new software. And the new software is, hey, we want a certain level of power, so we also need a certain. Everybody has to meet this level of responsibility, regardless of on whatever spectrum it is. We got this whole pie, and I don't care if you eat 3/4 or half of it. The pie needs to be eaten.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, yeah.
Basically, what you're saying is you out here on the U.S. Postal Service while everybody else on this Amazon. So
You need to update.
You need to get that.
You need to get that. Just get go on, get you a subscription and call it stop that.
Yeah.
Go and get you
Yeah.
some Prime in your
Yeah,
life.
get Prime.
And get,
And get
It's
next
over
day.
with.
Like it's
Oh,
gonna be
man.
here.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
On
you know.
time.
That brings us to the end. Anybody you want to shout out, any love you want to show, it can be to yourself, it can be to anyone else.
You
It's
know,
all
I
you.
just want to shout out to all my friends, family, and everybody that knows me. You know, how y'all doing? Peace. For me.
That's real. As always, love to shout out my beautiful wife. We had a great time at this 90s party that they were doing at House of Blues yesterday. Great time. Enjoy those times we have together. Also want to shout out her businesses. Traces Like Mine, Yanni Like Mine, and Wasted Desires. They were just at a pop-up. I think they pretty much still there or about to leave or whatever. Y'all check them out. They're on Facebook, on Instagram. They have their website. It should be up now. I do not know the name of the website. I should, but I don't know what to tell you. Also like to shout out Aretha. She does the body sculpting and things like that. She's actually in Northeast Mall now. She does a lot of things. She was also on the show too, trying to get her back on here. Her and her husband Aaron. Yeah, that's about it.
Cool.
All right, cousin Mike, when he figure out what he want to do, we gonna do that. Of course, my other cousin Tyler Bailey, Luxury Clothes by Luxury Guy. I mean, the other guy was shout out here, so he'll shout himself out. Is what it is.
Yeah.
And yeah. Oh, hey, mama. All right.
All right. Well, you know, I'm gonna piggyback off Jeremy. You know, shout out to my beautiful wife. You know, I know you probably watching by now and looking for me. So I'm gonna make this quick. Again, y'all check me out for your ambition. YouTube. Follow me on IG at 4Y Ambition. Also, want to shout out my boy Real, Jay and Will. Check them out under the Glow Sun Sports and Glow Sun Comics. Also, shout out my boy Mello 1987 production. Follow him on Instagram. You know, we about to get some production going with the music, so I'm gonna try to step into that lane again. But other than that, be on the lookout for my ambition push for the community and the culture. And we've been to make some things happen, and I appreciate my boys for bringing me on again. You know, I'm gonna try to creep back through here and then have y'all on again.
Most definitely.
All right. Oh yeah, as always, check out the podcast, like, subscribe. We're on everything. We're on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. We're on iTunes, basically Spotify. Anywhere you want to find us, we there. Something for the people.
And if you would like to come and be part of the show, if you got your opinion, we'll send you the topics and everything. And, of course, we'll have to send you the address. Is what it is. But you can come on here and you can get your voice heard, too. Mm-hmm. With that being said, this has been another episode.
Subscribe. Check us out.
Yeah.
It's been another episode of Something for the People. Deuces.
Be easy.